Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today is Fixed Blade Friday. I'm probably going to show you two different videos today. I'll start off with this one. This is the HX Outdoors D167B. So that tells me that there's probably a different D167 with some other treatment, probably a satin blade or something, I don't know. This is what I'd call a fantasy knife. This is not a practical knife, although it certainly has a cutting edge and it can cut. But it's much more of a fantasy knife than anything else. But those things have a marketplace too. There's people that want them, and so I'm reviewing them. I've reviewed a couple other fantasy blades in the past. This one comes with a Chinese version of Kydex kind of sheath and a different kind of version of a tech lock as well. The retention right now isn't all that great, but this is very light Kydex. They even went to the extent of putting a little drainage hole in the sheath itself. So if you were outside and it got wet, water would get in here and it would drain out down there, and that's a good thing. So what we have is a fantasy style blade, actual cutting serrations up top here, a dull swedge up top here, cutting edge here, cutting edge here, cutting edge here, and 3 chamfered holes. G10 handle scales on top of this fairly thick slab of steel. It's not a 1/4 inch. It's a fair bit less than a 1/4 inch. But yeah, you've got these screws to hold the handle scales on there. A nice big choil here, a big finger guard when you've got this in your hand. If you were to use this in a practical way, that would stop your hand from slipping over if it suddenly stopped against something. Good finger guard there if you wanted it. My hands are large, right on the borderline of extra large, between 9 and 10 European sizes. And this knife, I could easily have a bigger hand and it would still be comfortable. If I had a small men's hand, even maybe in the medium range, I might find this handle a little bit too thick. It's a big hand kind of knife. It says right on the knife there that it's 440C stainless steel. This titanium kind of coating, which is kind of slippery and fairly durable. Not stupid durable or anything, but it's okay. Jimping on the top of the spine here, just light jimping. It's a pretty cool fantasy knife that if you were caught in the zombie apocalypse and this was the knife next to you, I would definitely grab it and I'd go to town on those zombies with this thing. But in a practical kind of survival kind of thing, or just going camping and stuff, I might take this along as a fantasy kind of thing to enjoy, but not as my main knife. Not a chance at all. But it's a cool knife, so stick around for a little bit of an overview. I won't do a full review, just I'll talk a little bit more about this knife and then we'll be done. So we got a big knife here, about 3/16. By the way, it's a saber edge here, saber edge here. I call that a saber edge 2 right there. And, just serrated edge up here. This is actually quite good. I did some cutting of some cordage and stuff, and it cuts cordage very, very well with this cutting edge right here. It's going to be a little trickier to sharpen unless you've got a round kind of rod. And I do have some Lansky round ceramic rods of 2 different grits, and that works perfectly for sharpening this kind of thing. If you look through my videos, just look for Lansky and then look through the different things, and you'll see there's a wooden box that has these rods in it designed for set up in a V, and then you sharpen your knives on there. Watch the video, it's worth it. You could use those same rods, just manually sliding them through to sharpen a significant recurve like this, or even these 2 spots for that matter. Over 3/4 of an inch thick at the thickest spot, and that's right back here at the end of the handle. It just slowly gets thicker and thicker and thicker until you get right to the end there. The full length of this knife is 24.2 centimeters, which is just over 9.5 inches, 9.53, something like that. She's not very light though. It's 10.1 ounces, 286 grams, and when you add in this sheath, thankfully it's pretty thin. It's 361 grams, 12.7 ounces together. Do you want to buy one of these? Well, the price isn't very cheap. There's an awful lot of labor that goes into all these different kinds of cuts and stuff, unless they use a lot of different robots, and that's an expense as well. So to get this serrated edge cut, to get these 2 different grinds cut here, this third one, so you've got 4 different grinds that you cut on the thing. It costs a bit. $34.43 US, $43.08 Canadian, €29.28 euros, and pounds, 25.29. Unique features, well, there you go. That's the unique feature right there. Solid construction though, built very well, feels good in the hand. What else do I like and dislike about it? Well, it's a knife. It cuts okay. I don't mind 440C steel. At this price, I would have hoped that they would have maybe a better steel than this, maybe genuine D2. The blade is sharp enough that, you can cut if you need to with any one of these edges. Even that hollow edge there, if you can find a spot, there you go. So you can really get in there to create some good cuts if you need to. And, it's, a good cutting surface. Feels decent, looks decent. It's kind of cool, kind of fun, interesting knife. If you're looking for a knife like this to have some fun with, or to maybe give to a, 13, 14-year-old boy who, loves knives and is kind of into fantasy kind of knives, this might be a cool gift for somebody like that. So there you go. If you like the video, even if you don't like the knife, don't get this wrong. If you like the video, if I did a decent job talking about the knife, click the thumbs up. If you don't like the knife, that's fine, but give me the thumbs up anyways, unless you think I did a crappy job of the talk, then give me a thumbs down. The thumbs up and thumbs down isn't about the product being reviewed. It's about the reviewer doing the reviewing. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. And remember to always cut towards your chum or something totally non-living and not your thumb.